Fantastic. Okay. All right. So for the UVs for this dog, I'm gonna put the dog back to where it is. Fantastic. The cool thing about the patches, those little fabric patches, I don't have the eyebrows done. I can do those afterwards and add them to my character. It's not like you gotta have the character fully modeled to do the UVs. You can do parts of it. You can do the entire thing, or you can combine them. Okay. So I'm gonna select these guys right here. First thing that we want to do is we want to name this. So this is the dog. I'm going to rename this Plush dog, Plush underscore dog. I'm going to get rid of the word low res, right? So I'm going to call it just body, okay? Plush dog body. Select the whole thing. This is going to be the character's right eye, right? So R, I. I'm going to copy this name. And then this will be the left eye. So change the R for an L, okay? And this will be the muzzle. Whoops. Instead of right eye, it'll be muzzle. And I don't know if muzzle's got two Z's, but it has it right now, okay? All right, so these guys right here, we're gonna quickly create UVs. Again, I like to select everything if possible, just so that it's easier to see things. And then Shift F, frame everything in there. And let's go ahead and isolate it right here. All right, fantastic. Okay, let's go ahead and go to our UV editing. I'm gonna be working in this view right here. So what I'm gonna do with this little guy right here, perform modeling hygiene on everything, make sure that these guys have modeling hygiene. All right, you guys can see that these eyes right here, right, have some sort of UVs, and so does the nozzle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to edit, and I'm going to delete the nozzle, okay? All right, fantastic. So if I select the entire character, no UVs, this is how I know that this is working. Okay, first thing that I'm going to do, I'm going to select the dog, and I'm going to show you guys a different way of doing the UVs. I've shown you guys how to do the automatic projection, and then sewing all of the patches, okay? This time I'm gonna show you guys a very different way of doing this, okay? All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to create and I'm gonna do an automatic, right? And you guys will see that there's 58,428 billion patches, right? UV shells. This is gonna be a nightmare to sew. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select all of these edges right here, okay? And I'm gonna go to cut and sew, and I'm gonna go to stitch together, and I'm gonna get a balloon of just nonsensical UVs, okay? That is because I've sewn everything. There's no cuts, right? So it is just a nightmare. So what I'm gonna do, and this is exactly what I have. If I try to unfold this, right, probably the computer will catch on fire, but this is what I'm gonna do. I'm going to start unfolding things, right, at level 1, okay? And, this sucks right here. Okay, let's just fix this. Your teacher screwed up. No need to laugh at the teacher, Haley. All right, quick fix. All right, and this is done right here. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna select these guys right here, Q. I'm gonna delete these, delete edges. All right, so you guys will see that I have these end guns right here. Not really. All right, let's see. I'm gonna go to this face right here. F to frame this face. All right, so this guy right here needs to go up. I can't believe I did that. Let's see. There's my end gun right here, okay, which is this corner. So what I'm gonna do, let me fix this real quick. I'm gonna select these two guys, R, put the pivot point right there, bring these guys in here. All right, and that was because my when I did the mirroring, my offset for my merge vertices was too big and merged that guy in there. Okay. All right. So I have an end gun right here, as you guys can see. So if I move this guy right here, let's try this real quick. All right, perfect. I'm going to, okay, so these guys are good, right? So let me select these guys right here. Hit F so you guys can frame these. I'm going to W, disable the pivot point. I'm going to align it with this edge and then push these guys down. If these guys go right here, I'll have quads. Okay, let's do this. Let's go object mode. I'm going to go to quad draw. And with quad draw, you can edit objects. Perfect. Okay, I know what I'm doing wrong. So hit F to frame this one more time. All right, I want these guys right here to go. If this goes over here, I need to create one of these guys right here. So let's put this guy right here for now. Perfect. All right, and perfect. Okay, this looks weird, but once I connect these guys here, I'm going to scale these guys in this direction, in this direction. All right, like this. Let's move this guy down. Perfect, okay. All right, so I need to combine these guys right here. So this, with quad draw, this is gonna go here. This one's gonna go here, right? And this one's gonna go right here. Perfect. I'm gonna select these guys right here, hit F to frame them, zoom out a little bit, and I'm gonna move these guys down, W. I'm gonna align the pivot point with this edge here. No, actually this edge right here. Push these guys down. Perfect. A little bit more. Right, I'm aligning them with the wall. This guy right here is gonna do the same thing. All right, so full start, but it is what it is. D, put the pivot point right here. Okay. All right, so now what I need to do is I need to push these guys down. W, and I'm going to put the pivot point here. And I'm going to drive these guys down like this. Here, and then up like this. Okay, perfect. Let's get rid of these end guns. This triangle, sorry. And I want to go to 3. Perfect. All right. Okay. So what does this mean right here? It means that I have to redo my UVs. This is something that happens because we have a sharp edge right here. So what I'm going to do with these faces is I'm going to move them based on this edge right here, a level 3. Right there. All right. Perfect. Okay. Much better. If I go to 3, excellent. Okay, so everything is end guns. I'm happy. I get everything back. So edit, delete the UVs. All right, and what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to double check right here. Did I do that too? No. Okay, this is good. All right, perfect. I'm not too worried about these guys right here. Vertex, give me 1 second. Okay, much better. I'm gonna go to 3. Perfect. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead, guys. I'm going to, this is only 10 minutes, took 10 minutes. So select this object right here, perform modeling hygiene. I'm going to make sure that I have no UVs. As you guys can see, when I hit F, nothing inside of the 0 to 1 coordinate. We're going to create automatic, right? It's going to give me hundreds of, let's go to UVs. Let's go to, I'm going to go to edges, right? It's going to be hundreds of UV shells. I'm going to select every single one of them, and I'm going to go to stitch together. Because what I want to have a bag of UVs, right? And then I want to start cutting every single section where the piping is, okay? So, perfect. Okay, so you guys will see that there's no thick white lines. We have this gigantic mess right here. If I select this UV shell from hell and I try to unfold it, okay, let me save the scene first. I'm gonna get this nightmare right here, right? It's just gonna go, yeah, it's not gonna happen. So I'm gonna start doing this little by little just to show you guys how this is done, okay? I'm going to go to level 1 and I'm going to start cutting things. I'm gonna go to edges and I'm gonna double click right here, right, where the leg is. Make sure that you guys press shift and go all the way around. If you guys have these 1, 2, 3, 4 points, right, it will not know where to go. Okay, you guys see that right here? So I'm gonna go to cut. Now this right here is its own UV shell. So I can go right here, F to frame it. I need to have a seam. So guess where I'm gonna put the seam, guys, for this right here? Exactly. Hidden away from children, okay? So it's gonna go right here. It's gonna go all the way around to here. And I'm gonna go to cut. And now I have 2 UV shells. I have this UV shell here, which I'm gonna go to unfold. I didn't cut this part right here. So let's go cut this one. And I'm gonna hit G, cut this one right here. So I get 2 UV shells, one for the top of the leg and one for the bottom of the leg, okay? So what I can do is I can stitch them together to one of these sides right here. So if you guys notice that when I select this edge, it's the same thing as this edge right here. And I'm just gonna sew them actually right about here. Let's try it, stitch together. Perfect, this is exactly what I want. Think of a mitten where you guys cut from the wrist around the thumb and the fingers, and it ends at the tip of the little finger, and then you guys unfold it, okay? So that's how I want you guys to think of this. What I'm gonna do with this UV shell is I'm gonna rotate it like this. I'm gonna go to this edge right here, one of these edges right here, and I'm gonna go to straighten shell, and that's it. So I'm gonna start cutting things one at a time. So let's go ahead and cut all the legs first. Again, I'm gonna go to cut this leg. I'm gonna hold shift and make sure that it goes all the way around. You can hit F so that it frames it so it's easier to pivot the camera. And now you guys can see that everything here is cut. I'm not gonna do the double clicking right here because it could start cutting the body. So let's go to cut, go to UV shell, hit F in the UV editor, move it here, right? Now we have to cut it. So like I did before, I'm going to go right here, cut it. So I'm gonna double click on this edge that's gonna go underneath all the way around, and it's gonna end right here, and I'm gonna cut it right here too, cut. And now I have 2 UV shells for this leg right here. I got this one here and this one right here. So I'm gonna select both of them and go to unfold. And I have no idea who that guy is, so let's go ahead and undo this. Let's see. So let's go ahead and it looks like I cut something that I was not supposed to cut. Let's go ahead and undo this. Okay. It looks like there was a cut there. All right, so let me show you guys how to fix this right here. I'm gonna select this UV shells right here, F. I'm gonna select all of my edges, and I'm gonna go to stitch together. Perfect. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna recreate that cut. These guys right here are acting weird. So I'm gonna go to W, D to disable the pivot point, move it out of the way by selecting one of these faces. And I'm gonna put it on this face here, And I'm going to push this guy like so. Much better. All right, this is what this should have looked like. Let's go to the opposite side. But I got this right here. When I do that, I'm losing this part right here. So if this goes from here to here. All right, I'll fix that. How's the opposite side? Let's go to 3. Not the greatest, but all right. Okay, this will do the work. All right, so now that I have this UV shell right here, UV shell, right? I'm gonna cut it right here. Make sure, guys, that you don't go over any other places. Start by cutting this right here, and then go to cut. Okay, my computer's acting weird. Cut. Okay, perfect. Go to this UV shell right here. Find it, move it. Okay, you guys will notice that we cannot unfold it. I'm going to go to unisolate selected, isolate selected. This is easier to look at this right here. Perfect. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to show you guys this really neat thing. Notice that my geometry, guys, is not perfect. Like here, I get these weird things where the rest right here, you guys notice that it follows. This is straight, but here I have this cut right here, right? So it's a bad model. So what you can do is you can change your model. Watch this. A lot of people don't know that you can do this because you're like, oh, I'm done modeling. Oh, I got to delete all of the UVs. Not necessarily, okay? So let's say, for example, that I want to put this over here. So from here to here, right? And then to here, and then to here, right? So that it follows the rest. And I want to fix this guy right here. How do I do that? Well, this guy's going to go from here to here, right? But I need this cut right here. So I'm going to go from here to here, to here, and to here. Perfect. Okay. So I'm rebuilding the geometry, okay? Let's go ahead and select this edge here. This edge here and this edge right here. I'm going to delete these edges. Delete edge, right? And I have this bizarre looking shape, right? I'm going to use my multi-cut tool, and I'm going to create a cut from here to here. That will fix this part right here. And I'm going to create another cut from here to here, right? These guys look good. I'm going to fix this right here because of my OCD. All right, so this is good. But as you guys can see, it's kind of all crooked, like a politician. So I'm going to go W, put the pivot point, D, disable the pivot point, put it here. Remember, you can drag it back in. Let's go ahead and move this guy here like this. And then for this one right here, we're going to do the same thing. D, select the vertex, D, put the pivot point on this edge, and now move it like so, okay? All right, so I've got this fixed, and you're like, yeah, but your UVs suck. Okay, no big deal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these faces right here, guys, right? And I'm going to go to delete UVs. So this part of the object has no UVs anymore. Now what I can do is I can select these faces right here, and I can go to automatic UVs. One more time, I can select all of my edges and go to stitch together. I'm going to get a blob, right? I'm going to move it right. Whoops. That means that if I go to edges, these guys should be cut. Let me make sure that these guys right here are cut. Right? Perfect. I'm going to select this UV shell. I'm going to move this guy over here, right? because when I let out the UVs, it reattach itself. Okay, no big deal. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go right here. I'm gonna select these edges. It's gonna go all the way around. And I'm gonna cut this. And now, as you guys can see, I have two UV shells. I have this one right here, unfold it. I have this one right here, unfold it. And that's it. It's the same thing as before. These guys, what I wanna do, guys, is like the rest of the objects, I wanna make sure on the transform, I'm using the textile density of 8 for now, okay? So I'm gonna click on set. Now, perfect. Now these guys are the same as these guys right here. So I'm gonna select this guy right here, move it, E for rotate. I'm gonna put this guy right about here. Again, if you guys unfold it, right? Perfect, okay. Now I'm gonna select this edge right here. And I'm gonna go to stitch together. So I've got another paw done, okay? These are the front, these are the back, okay? Let's say that you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I did this. I screwed this up still, right? Don't worry about this, guys. You guys can do this over and over and over, okay? So I'm gonna look right here, I'm gonna go, damn it, I realized that I messed this up. Not a big deal. You guys are gonna go right here, right? You're gonna create a cut here. I'm gonna 30 here and 70 right here. Then I'm gonna put another one cut from here to here. One from here to here, right? And then we're gonna fix this nonsense right here, right? So what I wanna do is I wanna select this edge here, this edge right here, this one here and this one here, and I wanna delete them, right? I do need a cut right here. Give me 1 second. Perfect. All right, so let's select this edge here, 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 and delete it, right? And now, with the multi-cut tool, I'm going to create a cut from here to here. That will fix that corner. And then one cut from here to here. That will fix this corner here. Right there, okay? This is done. The geometry is a little bit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, no big deal, right? Select this edge right here, W. I'm gonna align it with that edge itself, move it, right? And again, we screwed up our UVs, right? Because this is a new object. If you guys look at this object right here, okay, if I select these faces that I just fixed, you guys will notice that these faces are right here. Do you guys see that? So there's no need to delete the UVs of an object that you're rebuilding, okay? When you guys add edges, okay, I want you guys to pay attention to this part right here. Look what happened, guys, when I select this UV shell right here and I unfold it. The newly created faces are right there. That's good. That's good right there. All right. And these were the cuts right here, okay? Again, if you guys are not satisfied with the UVs and everything, one more time, you guys can select these faces right here, delete the UVs for these faces alone. Notice, guys, that the rest of the object's still there. You guys see that? Select these faces, right? Go to automatic, select all of these edges right here, minus, that's a mistake that I made before, control, minus this right here, okay, because we want that cut. Because if not, it's gonna stitch it to the body again, right? Minus this. Go to stitch together, and then figure out where you guys want that cut. So I'm gonna select my cut right here. It's gonna go underneath the ribbon, like so. And I'm gonna go to cut, and now I've got these two UV shells that I can move right here. Unfold both of them. Right, make sure that they're the textile density of 8. This will be my top. I think the bottom is the bigger one. So UV shell. Yeah, the bottom is the bigger one. Even if I select this one right here, you guys will see that one is bigger than the other one. If I select these faces, hit F. No, that's the top one. Okay, that's interesting. Perfect. A cut was created right here, which I have to fix. That's because I did the double click. It's not a bad idea. I like that cut right there. All right. All right. And then what I'll do, ladies and gentlemen, I'll select these two guys right here. I'll attach them. I'll rotate both of them like this. Right. They're different sizes, but as soon as you guys stitch one with the other one, they will change in dimension. So stitch together. See that? And then you select this guy right here. You unfold it one more time. I'm going to select this edge right here, and I'm going to straighten the shell. When this happens, just unfold it one more time. All right. And then sometimes the straightened shell does weird stuff to your geometry. So just go ahead and unfold it. That edge will stay straight. And then do the same thing right here. Unfold. Perfect. Okay. All right. So as you guys can see, the bottom side is bigger. And then it's just a matter of doing the rest of the legs. Okay. So these legs are UV'd. You guys should be able to do the opposite of the legs. Okay, let's talk about these patches right here. For these guys, it's actually going to be easier now that you guys know how to do the legs. So what I'm going to do with these legs right here, I'm going to cut them. I'm going to double click here, right, and cut these guys. I'm going to around each one of these little legs. This guy here, perfect. Let's go to the other leg. Double click here, holding shift. Perfect. All right, I'm going to go to cut. So from this mess right here, you guys will notice that I have UV shell, right? I'll have these two UV shells right here. But because I fix one side, these two legs right here, right? And I have to fix, I think this guy's fixed in the front, right? But it's not fixed right here. So I will fix this guy later on. But you guys know how to do the legs. Okay, so I'm not gonna bother with these two UV shells. Let's talk about this UV shell right here. So this one here is not bad, right? What I'm gonna do, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm gonna find that edge loop, right? And I'm gonna cut it right here. And this edge loop here is gonna go all the way around your character, right? So let's go ahead and select that edge loop right here. Make sure that it goes all the way around your character. Oops. It's going to stop in certain places, right? And what I'm going to do, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm going to keep that UV shell right there. Okay, I'm going all the way around, all the way around. Look, you guys see how it stopped right here? Select these two guys right here. And I'm going to make sure that it goes all the way around. I can see it there. Perfect. All right, let's go and create a cut. So now the head and the body are two UV shells. One here. This is the body. And this right here is the head, okay? This right here is one leg. This is the other leg. But again, I'm only going to do UVs for half of the body, and then I'm going to delete the other half, and then I'll reattach it, okay? All right, so what I'll do next is, now that I have this part right here, I'm going to follow this cut that I created right here. So it's on the top. So I'm going to double click on this edge here. Right? You guys will notice that it goes inside of the leg. That's fine. I'm going to go to 4, and I'm going to deselect these guys. I'm going to hit F to frame this. And notice, guys, that it goes into the legs, but I'm going to hold Control and disable these guys right here. Right? And I'm going to disable these two guys right here. Okay? Perfect. Let's go ahead and create cut. So I'm going to go to cut. So now I have a cut right here. So now if I go on these little parts right here, and I select this edge here, double click on it. Whoops, I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go from here to here, here to here. Okay, so it's selecting everything. All right, I want to create a cut here and a cut right there, okay? Perfect. And I'm going to do that the same thing, guys, on the opposite side. I'm going to go right over here, and I'm going to select this guy here, cut it right here. All right, I'm not doing the inside because the legs already took care of it. Cut. So now you guys are going to notice that I have a UV shell on the top, a UV shell on the bottom. Okay. All right, so let's select this UV shell right here. W for move. And let's go ahead and unfold it. How cool is that? So the whole top is one piece. Okay. I'm going to select this edge right here, and I'm going to go to straighten shell. All right, and then I'm going to unfold this one more time. All right, fantastic. Okay, so what I'll do, I'll position my legs where they should be. So this goes here, and this one goes right here. And now for the bottom is right here. Let's go to unfold. Boom, right? There it is. Let's go ahead and make sure that these two guys are set to 8. Fantastic, okay? Everything should be set to a scale of 8 for now, okay? And here what I want to do, I want to see which one is the front. So I'm going to go to faces, select these faces right here. Yep, these are the front. These are the front of the body. So let's select this UV shell, rotate this, and we're going to move it here, okay? We're going to tackle the whole, we have way too many UV shells later on. Okay, so this guy is pretty much done. Okay, so for the head, you guys can see what I'm going to do. I'm going to select these patches right here. If I go get rid of wireframe unshaded, you guys will see this, right? So this will be one, this will be another one, right? And they're going to be sewn right here. And then the head is going to be its own unique UV shell. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut the ears first. All right, I'm going to go to this edge right here. The reason why I'm cutting them right here, guys, is because I want the ears to have, oops, that's not going to help. I want the ears right here to have the bevel of that gutter. Okay, so this is good. So here what we're going to do is I'm going to go right here, select this, 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 and then I'm going to click here, double click right here. And then I'm going to select these guys here because these are these deltas, right? If I double click here, they will stop, okay? So if I double click right here, notice that it stops because it doesn't know what to do. All right, now that I'm here, I'm going to go select this little guys right here. And boom, I got the whole ear, okay? So what I'm going to do is with this ear seam selected, I'm going to go to cut. I'm going to go to UV shell. Find it from this mess right here. There it is. And let's go ahead and unfold and see what this looks like. Not perfect, okay? You guys will see that, hey, this sucks. Absolutely, okay? And that is because I need to cut it. I'm going to select this edge right here. And I'm going to cut it in half. But I don't want to go into the body. So I'm going to select this edge right here. Where's that cut? Right there. Okay, I'm going to select this edge here. And I'm going to double click on this edge right here. Okay? Then I'm going to shift select this one here. I'm going to double click on this edge right here for now. I'm going to zoom in. And select these guys right here. It's kind of hard to see what's inside here. So I'm going to go to 4. Now let's go on the inside of the object. And perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and let's go to cut. And now look what happens, guys. I have 2 UV shells that when I unfold them, right, they're going to give me better distortion. Okay, if you guys click on the third icon right here, this is your wireframe. This is your shaded. Shaded means blue. The letters will read correctly, right? Red means that they won't. But if I go to the third one, this is going to be your distortion. This is going to be your compression and pull, okay, of your object. This is interesting. It happens right here too, right? So everything looks white. That means that I have very little distortion. Let me undo this before I cut it, so you guys can see that I had a lot of red and a lot of blue. Does everybody see that? There's a lot of compression and a lot of stretching. That's why it was better to cut it, right? It was better to, if I double click right here, guys, let's go to here. Okay. If you guys go to, wait, it just looks like UV shell. Oh, great. All right, let me select all these edges right here, minus. Okay, let's go ahead and undo. It looks like I cut every single edge. All right, here we go. So I have this UV shell here and this UV shell here. When I unfold them, right, and I go to the third icon, you'll notice that they're mostly white. No stretching, no compression. All right, I'm gonna sew these ears right here at the very, very top. Let's move this guy out of the way. I'm gonna select this edge right here, and I'm gonna go to stitch together. Now, why do I sew the ears together? So that I know that these two pieces go together. That's primarily it. No other reasons whatsoever, okay? All right, so this is how you do the ear, right? Now I'm going to cut the nose. So for the nose, again, I want the nose to retain the bevel. So I'm gonna click here, hold shift. I'm going to double click right here, holding shift. Then I'm gonna, are you kidding me? Here, shift right here. Then, okay, so something's going on. Edges. Okay, I'm gonna click here. Wow. Okay, let me reset my tool. Something's going on. Reset. W. Reset. E. R. Perfect. Okay. I don't know why selecting those. Edge. Select this edge. Shift. Double click right here. Wow, so it's just creating a mind of its own. All right, no big deal. I'll see how this works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this manually, right? And that's going to be the seam for the nose, okay? So you guys can see that the nose right here, it's a bulbous object, right? It's like a sphere. So you guys know that this is going to give us a really bad, let me see what happens when I double click right here. It'll be just faster if I do this right here. Because when I cut this, okay. Maybe this will be easier if I cut them right here. Perfect. Okay. So here's the nose. Let's go ahead and cut this piece right here. Right? Let's select this UV shell now. This is now its own UV shell right here. Hit F. It's part of this mess right here. Let's go ahead and move this, and let's go ahead and unfold it. Again, guys, if I go right here to the third icon, you guys see all of the red and all of the blue? That means major compression on the nose tip and major stretching on the edges. I just need to split the nose in half because this is going to be fabric. Who cares, right? So let's go right here, double click, cut. And now when I unfold these two guys right here, you guys are going to notice that these are going to be white more than anything. I'm going to move this guy here. I'm going to sew the nose on this edge right here, stitch together. I'm going to go right here, E, to rotate. And I'm going to select this edge and then straighten my shell. And once I select the shelf and I unfold it one more time, you'll notice that it's mostly white, no stretching, okay? No stretching and no compression. All right, perfect. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to do this piece right here, right? This quadrant right here as one patch, this quadrant as another patch. The top of the head will be one patch. And since I have a seam right here, I'll probably cut the head behind the ears so nobody can see that. All right. And then that's pretty much how you lay out the UVs for your character. Think, guys, of an animal skin rug, you know? Sounds horrible. All right, I don't hunt anymore. All right, but think about how you would, it's called pelting, right? When you remove the skin, skinning, right? You end up with a pelt, right? Which is hopefully a single shape skin of your character. If not, you know, you're gonna end up with a lot of pieces. So remember, guys, try to make the cuts in an area where we don't have the seams. If I had to do this again, I probably would have the cuts right here. And again, I can redo this. I can double click right here, right? As you guys can see. I can cut this, right? And it will cut it from this piece right here, as you guys can see. Let me go to UV shell. Right? It's right here. And then what I'll do with this piece right here, I will attach it to this patch right here. And that's all there is to creating the UVs for this character right here. It's very, very simple. You create an automatic projection. You sew all of the edges, right? So you have this bag that cannot be unfolded. And then little by little, you start cutting pieces of your model. Cool? All right, I'm going to end the video right here. It's like 40 minutes. So let's hit